Howdy, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Kurt here, drinking the Zero Sugar Red Bull. It's been that kind of a day because I've been up since, about 3 in the morning. I'm in Delphi, Indiana. Specifically, as if I can get a shot, I'm at the CVS in Delphi, Indiana, which some people know the significance of that. So, anyway, I thought I would give the update on the Richard Allen court hearing. So it was a weird one. This was initially supposed to be a bond hearing. So the defense attorneys were trying to set bond so that he could be out of jail with his wife and kids, and they eventually go to trial. But the defense switched the bond hearing to an evidence suppression hearing. And that's what we knew going into this morning. So we're expecting testimony, which we did get today. We did get testimony. We're expecting some bombshells. Yes, there were a couple bombshells. And we are expecting to hear either about existing evidence. And right now all we know is people seeing somebody walk on the trails that was... that they're saying is Richard Allen, but we don't know that these people ever identified him from a lineup. So we've got the eyewitness evidence, and we've got the ballistic testimony is about all we've got, according to the probable cause affidavit. Excuse me. So we're thinking maybe for the suppression hearing, we'd be hearing some new evidence, and that new evidence would be argued. Well, we come in, they talk about the suppression hearing, and that's going to be postponed. They haven't given a date on that yet. But what today's hearing was all about was moving Richard Allen out of the Westlake prison, or Westridge prison, wherever the hell it is. Moving him out of the prison that he's currently being stayed in, as an unconvicted person, and getting him into a county jail, preferably Cass County. So we got to hear some testimony from sheriffs, former sheriffs in each of the counties. We got to hear from the prison warden. We got to hear from a corrections officer. We got to hear from an intern for the defense. And basically what it came down to, and the judge pointed this out, was not so much that it would be a greater convenience for Richard Allen to be moved, because in some cases he wouldn't be getting as much care as he has available for him right now at the maximum security prison. It'd be more of a convenience for the attorneys. So that is all under advisement. There's not a date for a ruling on that. The bombshell that did come out of this was from the prosecution, who was representing Carroll County. And according to the prosecution, Richard Allen has admitted on 5 or 6 separate occasions to different people that he did, in fact, indeed commit these murders. Bombshell right there, possibly. Richard Allen's mental state. When I'd first seen him, it was like the first time I'd seen Charles Manson. I mean, this guy looked freaky. He was probably about 230, 240 in weight, and was cognizant. Today he looked like a drunk deer on drugs caught in headlights, and he looks like he probably lost maybe 50 pounds. I mean, this guy looks out of it. If you'd seen this guy on the street, you'd expect him to be shaking a cup, hey, can you spare a dime, if he could even talk. I'm surprised, and my friend Bob, the great Bob Mata, Defense Diaries, he made the comment, I'm surprised they're not having a competency hearing. I mean, this guy's, the elevator ain't going all the way up anymore. Whether that's true or if this is an act, I don't know. According to the warden, he said that on some days he's perfectly fine, talking, acting normal, and then all of a sudden he's just like, that facial expression ain't much of an exaggeration. So, I don't know if there's going to be a competency hearing in the future, but we don't know what's going to happen with where they keep him. The one thing we do know, we have a trial date. That is going to be January 8th to January 26th. The 8th, 9th, and 10th, possibly the 11th, is going to be for jury selection. There's going to be trial all on there. So the great Bob Mata and I, looks like we get to come freeze our asses off at 4 or 5 in the morning and hopefully get in a seat to see this trial, because it's going to be held in Delphi, but with a jury from another county. I don't believe it's Cass County, but the jury's going to be imported. They'll be staying in Lafayette, Indiana. The courtroom today is for security purposes. You'll see they've got, you have 2 sections. You got 9 seat rows. Now, the first row in each section is automatically blocked off. No one's sitting there. That's for security. So you have 27 seats on each side behind the defense and behind the prosecution. Now, behind the prosecution side, all of those were reserved, every single seat reserved for friends and family. In fact, there were a couple loose chairs in the back. They end up going in later, sticking reserve signs on those. There's a table and seats in the back. Maybe 5-8 people on those. On the Richard Allen side, they had, I believe they had 2 seats reserved, and that was once again Richard Allen's wife and Richard Allen's mother. Once again, when they brought him in, obviously they were in tears. That's their husband / son. Obviously they're going to feel something. At this point, Allen is not convicted. They're going to be feeling something. And I don't know where the wife is living, but I was talking to someone. I can't help but reference the novel, The Scarlet Letter. You got a town of 3,000 people. Your husband's on trial for killing 2 teenagers. Tell me this woman's going to be able to hold a job. Tell me she can go out in public and go grocery shopping without people pointing fingers, talking behind her back, or even getting in her face. So I don't know. I'd be interested to know about that. But and what else? There'll be another video coming later on. I went back out to the Delphi Bridge and shot some footage to kind of clear up some points. When I shot the first video, we didn't know anything. Richard Allen had not been arrested yet. Now that he's been arrested, we've got the probable cause affidavit. We know a few more things, and I also put in, my thoughts, how I would have done it, and that was everything I developed the first time I went out there. It's goofy. All I can say about that is, first time I was out there maybe 2 hours. I had, if I were doing it, boom, 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 I would have waited here, parked here, gone down this trail. I also have the benefit of hindsight. I know that it did happen there. I did see where, police were staging. I knew where there was land access, but you would think anyone that's lived here would have that same knowledge. I don't know. But anyway, I'll get that up later. In the meantime, enjoy. Thoughts, comments always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you.